So good afternoon all, and let's start today's reading session. It is all about the game plan. So let me start and I'll pass, or one of you can start reading and then I'll follow.
Sure, Vikash. The game plan. So what does that look like practically? It requires three simple things. I'll never forget Dr. Howard Hendricks telling a chemistry class, a seminary class, if you think this is too simple, remember that Jesus said, feed my sheep, not feed my giraffes. So while these three things are simple, I don't think they're simplistic. They are easy enough to grasp, but will take a lifetime to master. So self-leadership principle number 1, model followership. If you want to lead well, then you are not the one, when you are not the one in charge, it's imperative that you learn how to model followership. What do I mean? Do you know how to follow well? Does the team around you know that you're following well? Would they say, oh yeah, she's finally behind the leader? Or, yes, definitely, he's 100% behind the leader? The water cooler talk and office gossip cannot be a part of your life if you're going to do this right. In an attempt to connect with coworkers or even put yourself ahead, belittling your boss through needless chatter actually hurts you more than it hurts him or her. Your moral authority is vastly more important than your positional authority, and nothing erodes moral authority more than undermining the person you claim to be following. So, the first step to master in becoming a leader who leads well when not in charge is how to model what it means to be a follower. As others see how you respond to a bad boss, a terrible decision, or how to handle the stress of being overloaded, they will begin to see you as a leader, even if you lack the formal authority to lead. Your self-leadership in these situations will develop influence and prepare you for future situations you may face.
Great. So I request someone else to take over from here. Himanji, are you in a position to read today?
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I want to take it today. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. No problem. So self-leadership principle number 2, monitor your heart and behavior. What is easier to monitor, your heart or your behavior? Wow. So let's ask this question to ourselves. What is easier to monitor, your heart or your behavior? The truth is that they both are difficult. The feelings and emotions in our heart are invisible and difficult to see in the mirror, but our behaviors also have the potential to betray us. All of us have behaved in ways we did not want to behave or failed to act on something we wanted to act on. All of us have behaved in ways we did not want to behave or failed to act on something we wanted to act on. Yes, very true. Monitoring your heart involves checking those deep-rooted motives and emotions that lie inside you and give direction to your behaviors. With just a bit of curiosity and initiative, our behaviors may initially be easier to identify. With a bit of curiosity, very important, just straight. With a bit of curiosity and initiatives, our behaviors may initially
Be easier to identify.
Easier to identify. Monitoring your heart. So, how it is easier, we will discuss in our churning session towards the end. With a bit of curiosity and initiative, how it is easier to identify our behaviors. Monitoring your heart requires constantly checking your motives and feelings before God. There is a good reason David is called a man after God's own heart. A man after God's own heart. Look at all the times in Psalm when he bared his soul before God, begging God to help him keep his heart pure. How can a young person stay on the path of purity? By living according to the word. By living according to the word. Test me, Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and my mind. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. No one can do this for you. You have to make a decision to constantly check the emotions of your heart. Has any jealousy rooted itself in your heart? Is someone getting attention you feel you deserve? Do you feel angry towards your boss or something that has happened in the past? Are you frustrated about getting passed over a promotions or more responsibility? Leading ourselves requires monitoring those dark corners of our hearts where these dangerous emotions lie. Monitoring your behavior must be both horizontal with others and vertical with God. This means asking same tough questions of those around you. A few years ago, I made a pretty significant job transition. During that transition, someone recommended I read the first 90 days proven strategies for getting up the speed faster and smarter. I did, and it was fantastically helpful. One recommendation the author, Michael Watkins, makes is to solicit as much feedback as possible from your old job before jumping directly into the new job. I was reading this at just the right time. Without his advice to assess my vulnerabilities, I would have jumped right into my new role because I was so eager for the new responsibility. Instead, I submitted an informal, anonymous 360-degree survey to about 50 of the co-workers I had in my former role. I asked them three simple questions. What did I do over the past few years that inspired you? Question number one. What did I do? So, as a leader, what did he do over past few years that inspired his co-workers? This is the first question that he asked. And second question is, what did I do that frustrated you? Very powerful question actually. That frustrated you, and what do I not know about myself that has become a blind spot? Wow. If we know about this, then definitely we can do something about it, because blind spots are very uh, difficult to find by our own self. I received a lot of positive feedback. Unfortunately, I do not remember any of that. I just remember a few comments which have caused significant change in the way I operate at work. At times, I felt like you were not really paying attention to me, but were only thinking about what you had next. One of the comment is, I felt like you are not really paying attention to me, but were only thinking about what you had next. Means he is living in future. Sometimes when I am around you, I get the sense that you do not really want to hear what I have to say because you have already made up your mind. So listening skill is not appropriate. Means you just allowing his followers to share their idea, but it looks like to them that he has already made up his mind what to be done, and he did not really want me to hear, or just thinking, pretending as if to I'm hearing. The third one is, when we would meet together, you never really seemed prepared for our meeting. We never really seemed prepared for our meeting. This could be also a feedback. These comments were invaluable, but they were not news to me. None of them shocked me. I already know some of this about myself. I was just hoping no one else knew it too. I held the, I held the curiosity to drive your efforts to monitor your behavior, and not just curiosity for curiosity's sake, but curiosity for the sake of growth. Curiosity for the sake of growth would be right curiosity. You need to cultivate interest in how others see the way you act and lead. There is feedback orbiting around your world that could change you, grow you, stretch you, and make you better. But the responsibility for soliciting that feedback is yours. Responsibility for soliciting the feedback is ours. If we are just listening the feedback or just reading but doing nothing, then also it is of no use. So this is also very important thing, that we need to ask the right question to our followers or the teammates, and then when he said the 360-degree, it is not about his followers or teammate, it is about his boss also, about his upper line of leadership also. So ultimately, I am in charge of myself. That should be the point. So the third plan, Binalji, are you in a position to read?
Sure, sir, if you're okay.
Sure. Please start from the self-leadership principle number 3.
Okay. Self-leadership principle number 3. Make a plan. To lead yourself well, you need a plan. You will not lead yourself well by accident. It must be intentional. I call it a lead me plan. Everyone needs to be able to answer this question. What are you doing to lead yourself well? What is your lead me plan? To lead you well, you need to focus on 3 simple aspects. First, know where you are currently. Know where you currently are. Second, have a vision for where you want to go. Third, develop the discipline and accountability to do what it takes to stay on track. Know where you are. As you are developing a lead me plan, the greatest mistake you can make is to inflate your own leadership ability. You have gifts, talents, experience, and education that got you where you are. Don't try to fool yourself. You haven't arrived. You got you there. What got you there will not get you where you want to be. Jim Collins noted this mistake made by several leaders and companies in how the mighty fall and why companies never give in. He called it a breeze of success. The first misstep success, bring it to the credit the success to your own doing. But this also sets leaders up for the future failure. Truly great leaders, no matter how successful they become, maintain a learning curve as steep as when they first began their careers. For you to maintain a steep learning curve in this session of your life, you'll need to be honest about where you are and how you got there. This kind of gut level assessment of where you are will open by asking for it. People around you love you. They really do. They want you to get better. They wanted you to grow. But yeah, rarely will someone love you enough to give you full truth. I see people walking around with untied shoes, susceptible to tripping, and no one around them is courageous enough to tell them. If you want to know where you are and how you are doing, you need to ask. One of the key leaders One of the key leadership role recently opened up, and we started talking about who we are going to hire for that position. During that conversation, someone brought two names of the people inside our organization who were interested in the job. The problem was that they had some pretty big gaps in the leadership skills that would keep them from being considered for the job. I asked the person who manages them if the employees were aware about the gaps they were keeping them from being considered. The answer I received was inconclusive, and that frustrated me for their sakes. We won't improve unless someone is honest with us. Most of the big employment decisions in our career will happen when you're not in the room. That's sobering. But I know it's been true for my career. I've gotten jobs, I've lost jobs based on what people have said about me in the rooms where I was not present. At times, some have spoken positively about me, and at other times, some have spoken negatively about me. Either way, it's their opinion of me that matters. The same is true about your career. The people you work for have thoughts about you. They the people you work have thoughts about you. They even have thoughts about your future. It doesn't help you if there is something keeping you from an opportunity, but you are the only one who doesn't know. Before you put a plan together for your own growth, you should ask your boss a question. If an opportunity for promotion came available, what would keep you from fully recommending me? Wow. The answer to that question could be Genesis for your personal growth plan. A word of advice on this. I wouldn't ambush your boss with that question. Send him an email to tee it up and mention that you would like to ask him some question which will help you in your job performance. Then follow up in person and be aware that most people will resist answering that question because it is difficult to answer. Still, the feedback you receive is a good place to start. Follow up it with input from others as well.
Yes. Thank you, Vinodji. So let's sum it up, summarize today's reading, and then I'll be sharing the main points also in the group. And as we discussed, I think from first actually is Sunday, I think. So from second, we are starting a new book that is very, very relevant. So do not miss the opportunity to attend from the beginning of the book. And
Which book?
it is about, I exactly don't remember the name of the book, but it is by Dandapani. It is on focus. How to keep our
Power
focus.
of Focus. The Power of Focus.
The Power of Focus, yes. Very, very relevant book. And at this juncture, actually, most of us actually facing difficulty to keep our focus attention span for a longer time. So that will help. And if you have any other recommendations in the same area or subject area, then share with me. One of we will go for a poll and we'll choose one of them. Otherwise, that is the book that we are going to start. Little thick book, but let's see how much we can complete as a group, and then maybe we will do in a little different manner, wherein actually few parts we will read together and few of the sections we will read separately, and I'll share the summary anyway, so that the takeaways for each chapter comes, and then we'll complete the book. We'll try to complete the book by 1 month. That's the target. Otherwise, we'll see how it goes. So excited for the new book? Anyone read so far that book?
No, sir.
Okay, I have heard the, not fully, but partially I heard the audiobook in Audible. I have the Audible version of that book also. So very, very practical points actually you has given. So let's see how it goes. So today we have this game plan. The game plan, actually, this is very nice section. And after reading today's game plan section, actually, I feel like not leaving this book, but we'll come back again after implementing, or in between, maybe only on Fridays we will be reading this book or something like that. We can also do, so that the important part of this book also won't left behind. Anyone wants to share today's some of the takeaways in short? So it is about leadership principle. We have discussed 3 principles today. First one is model fellowship. So how we are actually, the author is rightly saying that the moral authority is vastly more important than your positional authority. As a positional authority, I might be the boss of my team, or I might be leading a big team of 50. But if I do not have the right moral authority, then definitely the people who are watching me will not be rightly motivated, because people get to see how we behave over a period of time, and that talks a great deal of thing about us. So formal authority to lead is there or not, that matters little less if we do not have the moral authority. So positional authority is of less importance in that case. So here this point is, as others see how you respond to a bad boss, a terrible decision, or how you handle the stress of being overloaded, they will begin to see you as a leader. So you become a leader even if you do not have a formal authority, if you are able to behave or take up the situation in a very right manner. Any other points anyone wants to add?
Yeah, I think that is something that I remember long back. I used to kind of internally ask myself that when no one is watching, how do you behave? In situations like this, when you have to do the right thing, and you know that maybe your boss is not doing the right thing, but without making him or her wrong, you take a decision that is the most appropriate for the situation in the interest of the company, and also as much as possible the well-being of the boss as well. So that sometimes is a tightrope that you have to walk. But I think if we practice the mode of goodness, and also maybe more and more being connected with our own inner voice, the higher self, And then the answers become easier.
Exactly. I was about to say that when we think that no one is watching, actually God is watching.
Yeah.
Our higher self is watching. And if we can remain conscious of that particular fact, then we will perform everything with the 100% of ours. And that will bring the difference. And that will also become the habitual, usual habit of us for responding. And over a period of time, that will be the game changers because the behavior forms that way. Your author is saying curiosity and initiative, these are the two traits. With just a bit of curiosity and initiative, our behaviors may initially be easier to identify. So, author is saying that we need to monitor our heart or behavior or emotions. Basically, emotions actually we need to monitor. What is the emotion that I have, how I am feeling, how I'm thinking. If we can somehow monitor, then it becomes easier for us to take charge of them. Otherwise, they make us run wild. This is also very important line which I feel. Monitoring your behavior must be both horizontal, how I am behaving with others, and vertical is how I am behaving with God. That means what is my relationship with my higher self or God. This will mean asking some tough questions of those around you. 3 tough questions which author has given. Anyone wants to read again? Reread. What did I do over the past few years that inspired me?
Inspired you.
Inspired you, okay, yeah, because the author is asking this as a 360-degree feedbacks or survey.
Yeah.
So
This should be asked to whom? Ourselves, or we should ask to our boss? Like, what
To
is
everybody.
360-degree, whomever we are meeting in our day-to-day life, in personal space or in professional space, to our teammates, to our boss, maybe to our family members also. This particular question is in terms of context of a work environment is being asked, but with a little modification, we can also ask these questions to our family to get more insight about us, to uncover some of the blind spots that we have. What did I do over the past few years that inspired you? If I am not doing anything that is inspiring to our family members, then also it is a tough or not a very good situation to be in. We need to change ourselves. What did I do that frustrated you? Definitely we are doing something or other that is frustrating them, and mostly we know many of them. Have we started working on them? Do we have any like plan of action to deal with them? If not, then today is a good day to start taking one such area which makes others frustrated, because that need to be changed. In any way, we cannot say that the others are getting frustrated because of them and nothing about us. There must be something which we also need to change, and that is for our own good, because making others frustrated makes our energy unnecessarily deplete. Then the third question was, what do I not know about myself that has become a blind spot? What do I not know about myself that has become a blind spot? This also we can ask to uncover the blind spot. So author has given few examples about his blind spots, about the feedback that he has got from his team members. Positive feedbacks he liked but he ignored, or it didn't persist. But the not so good positive the not so good feedback, he learned a lot, and he took the responsibility for soliciting the feedback. And the third one was making a plan. After I know what need to be changed, a lead me plan need to be built. You will not lead yourself well by accident. It must be intentional, and that is called a lead me plan. So we can have a lead me plan created in a nice chart paper or in a nice journal or in our diary. We can create a page. We can have a dedicated page for and call this as a lead me plan. And to lead you well, you need to focus on three simple aspects. One is first aspect is know where you currently are and what is the vision where you want to go. And this is the present, this is the future, and develop the discipline and accountability to do what it takes to stay on track. This is very the most important. Otherwise, these plans actually we have done many a times and these plans have failed multiple times. So the discipline and the accountability takes the major role, I would say, wherein actually if the plan that we are having, if taken up in a group, in a group of like-minded people, and in that community, if we execute together, then it becomes very easy to keep up the discipline and accountability. And that is what actually we are doing in our inner circle on a daily basis. And we are really getting benefit out of the things which we alone could which we alone might not have done actually for this longer. So whoever wants to know more about the inner circle accountability group may contact me. From first, we will be having another opportunity to start a fresh page or new edition. Then, if an opportunity for promotion came available, what would keep you from fully recommending me? So we can ask this question also to our boss so that we know what exactly is the expectation from him. Otherwise, we might be thinking that this is his expectation and that might not be matching, and we would be working in a little different direction, which might not help actually, because ultimately he or she is going to recommend us for the promotion. Till the feedback you receive is a good place to start. Follow it up with input from others and discipline and accountability. This is very important chapter actually. Big new plan is you may not be in charge, but you are in charge. Time to leave. Drop the expectation. Go all in. Learn what you need to learn. Then chapter 5 is about choose positivity. Perspective is everything. The panoramic option, satisfaction, value, and meaning. The panoramic pyramid. I'll again go through few of the things, an overview of the things. If we can somehow complete this book or the main chapters at least in next couple of days, then we'll see to postpone the introduction of the new book, and we'll continue this book also. So we'll let you know very soon. However, whatever may be the book, it is utmost important to have the habit, keep the habit of reading daily. And I urge all of you to join and also inspire your friends and family to be part of the group, because that's what actually is coming. Okay, thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Prakashji. It was very nice.
Thank you.
And everyone. Thank you, everyone here.
Thank you all.
Om Shanti and God bless.